What's going on, everyone? This is Crazy Russian 86 here, back again with another video. And this video is gonna be long. Happy New Year, everyone, by the way. So I wish you happy and healthy New Year to everybody who watch me. And now I'm gonna be addressing comment of the one. Okay. So I will be talking more about autism, narcissism, hiding in my room, and giving you more details about the video, about his official diagnosis, and why do I think that he is more likely to be autistic rather than being a narcissist or a sociopath. I'm gonna give you more examples. I'm gonna explain to you in more details why do I think that. So let's start it right now. All I hear is a bunch of generalizations. You don't explain here clearly how and why you believe these things. You just seems to be talking out of your ass. You can't just go around diagnosing people and just because you've seen him on camera, maybe all you see of him. He may be different off camera, real life. Well, I don't think he's different in real life because he seems like this calm, nerdy, shy guy. He's talking about his challenges at his jobs, where he's not doing his jobs well enough. So challenges the job, challenges in work settings, that points out to Asperger's because autistic people, they have problem with that. They have problems with their job, the way they do things like that. Also another indicator, he doesn't have friends, right? When he was in school, some people were trying to help him out, but he hated them. He was talking about one of his friends, right? Who was playing video games with him. Again, video games, nerdy behavior. A lot of autistic people, in America at least, not all of them, but a lot, reserve themselves into video games. So that's another thing, like trying to escape reality, playing video games. That's another sign, kind of, sort of. Versus someone who is a narcissist or sociopath, they're not really into video games like that, I don't think. They are more charming, charismatic, leaders. Narcissists and sociopaths, they have problem with empathy, but they don't have problem with social skills. Now, you can have Asperger's but also be a narcissist or sociopath. But then if that's the case, you're not gonna care about friends, you're not gonna have emotional connection. See, narcissism and sociopath, they have a cognitive empathy, meaning they understand how people think logically. They just don't have feelings. This guy clearly has feelings, because he cares about his friends, he goes back, and he says, oh, how bad it is that because of these guys, I lost my friend. And then here's another autistic sign I'm gonna start talking about. He wanted to be like his friend, so he also wanted, to, be into cars and things like that, But his parents told him, that's not for you, you shouldn't be doing that. Why? Because he probably has a bad coordination. Because autistic people with Asperger's, they have a bad coordination, bad sense of balance, So not all of them, but a lot of them, because you have to understand that it's not everybody is that way, but the sign that he has a poor coordination. So his parents like, nope, don't do it. It's not gonna be good for you. You're gonna fail. Why do they say that? Because they look at him and they see that this guy, he probably doesn't have a good coordination, he doesn't have physical abilities, so therefore he cannot be like a car mechanic. He's not going to be able to ride bikes and do things like that. So, and he didn't do it because he's been told by his parents not to do it. Sign of bad coordination, probably awkwardness, Mm. Also, another thing in that video which points out to his autism is his hatred for loud noises. Okay? And in that regard, he has more qualities of that than me because I don't have that problem. But then again, autism is a spectrum, so you have to really like look at, not everybody is the same, but he has that. That's another sign of autism. He hates loud noises. He always talks about, you know, how much it was annoying for him listening to all these people loud noises. He was saying how his friends started like working on the bikes, riding the bikes, things like that. And he was saying how much he hates hearing all this noise. That's another sign of that. He has low tolerance for loud noises. Like now, loud noises really bother him, and that's again points out to Asperger's syndrome. His intolerance of loud noises. He definitely have that trait. Also, people tell him that he's childish. He's about to be 30 years old and he's acting like 12 years old. Narcissists, they can be childish emotionally, like acting like kids when it comes to emotions, but they're not definitely act childish, I don't think, Because a narcissist, they're able to manipulate people, they have good social skills, unless it's comorbid with Asperger's. That way, if it's narcissism and autism all together, then these people pretty much all they're good for just high functioning, do things. And they can like get their narcissistic supply that way, like me, for example. I get aha moment, like I have social anxiety, but when, because I understand that I'm a smart individual, know what I'm talking about, I feel like a mastermind, but again, because of my lack of social skills, I'm not able to go into management. Also partially it's cultural thing too, because I'm in America, I grew up in Russia, and in Russia, people don't talk to people, the same people as they do in America, so I have to adjust that part of my personality, I have to learn different way of communicating with people, so that even makes it more difficult for me, I have to like learn how to care not about myself and what I think, and like started forcing my beliefs on other people instead of I'm learning how to like let people be, but just like learn how to deal with people better instead of like being like trying to be controlling, which has been not working out for me because it's a false thought, that other people have to do this job and think like me around me, like criticizing people because they're not doing things like I think they should be doing things, when like I'm not the boss. I stopped that behavior, but see, that's kind of that behavior of somebody who is like have both Asperger's and narcissism all together. Also, when I've been treated like an autistic person, I actually hate it. And that's another thing, like if you have Asperger's and narcissism and somebody treats you like you have Asperger's, you're gonna hate it. Because you understand that people gonna be treating you like a fucking child or somebody who is inferior. You're gonna be hating that. You know? But I don't think the Daniel has that problem, I don't think he cares. He just doesn't care about other people and he talks about it and he's been open about it. Narcissists, they understand it, you know what? It's not good to be talking about it. They're probably gonna, like every time, like you talk to a narcissist about emotional topics, like do you miss somebody or whatever, they're gonna either lie or they're gonna try to avoid the conversation. Versus somebody with autism, he has these feelings, he has this empathy, Autistic people may talk about it, like emotional things. Versus narcissists, they just don't give a fuck. So that points out that, Daniel is more autistic than narcissistic. Because if he were more narcissistic, he wouldn't be making that video about his friend whom he lost in high school. He wouldn't be holding up to this memory. He wouldn't give a shit, But the fact that he does give a shit shows that he has emotions. So he is definitely not a narcissist or a sociopath. Because if he were to be a narcissist or sociopath, he would be like, I was that friend, I don't give a shit. He would feel that way. He wouldn't have an attachment to anybody. He would be just like, it is what it is. And in some ways it's better, that he has an attachment, because it means that he has soul. See, narcissists, sociopaths, they don't have no fucking soul. They don't give a shit. They just putting on the facade to get whatever the hell they want to get out of people. And that guy, he doesn't have that type of thinking. He is more so childlike, Of course, he's been talking about like stealing food from the jobs before, which is also narcissistic and sociopathic tendency. He has a little bit of that, but not the whole lot, He seems like he just fucks bitches and has no remorse, which is again another quality of narcissism or sociopathy, But he's definitely not that, because he is childish and immature, and he doesn't seem like the type who would be good at manipulating people or charming people. Most of the women he fucks with, they're like 30-plus-year-old women who are tired of their husbands, and they just want to get outside dick because they don't care, All these women, they just want to fuck somebody, and he just, okay, cool. I just want to get some pussy too, so I don't care, It's not like he's been charming this woman into sex. No, this woman were probably ready to fuck him anyway because they want something different. So they don't care about fucking this weird, creepy, nerdy dudes, because they are tired of their husbands and they willing to go for it because they are bored and stuff. So he's been fucking this woman, but then again, it's not like far away from having sex with prostitutes or crack whores, because in reality, you don't have social skills, you can have sex with a prostitute or this older woman who just tired of the relationship, and you take advantage of the situation with just like, this woman is just throwing up to you, and you just, all you need to do is just to take that, So, he's definitely more high functioning than Todd, for example. Because at least he is traveling and is doing things. And he's able to make better video editing than me, than I do. Like me, I work all these jobs like FedEx and nursing home jobs, and I'm working super hard because of my life situation, helping other people out in a way. But he doesn't have that type of, problems. He's like more carefree. So that makes him like, he can afford to be more childish in a way. But at the same time, it's good for him too. Because look at me, right? I spend so many hours working all these jobs, right? Which is okay because I'm getting bigger, I'm getting stronger, more confident. But at the same time, I feel like I'm getting depressed because I'm not doing something which just makes me feel happy. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to lose my jobs. I like what I do because I like the money and I like certainty over uncertainty. But damn, how nice it would be to make the same money as what I'm making from these physical jobs, just to make it off of YouTube. I would rather make that money off of YouTube rather than making this money off of these jobs, but it's not that easy, because you have to motivate yourself, you have to figure out the ways how to edit your videos, which I can edit videos, but I don't have time for it. That's why I'm not doing it, There's a lot of things goes into it. You have to invest more time in it. And Daniel has this time and I don't. In that regard, I'm actually jealous to him, because in that regard, I'm gonna give him that. He's better than me. Because he's actually doing something he likes and he makes okay money for it. He supports himself. And even though he doesn't have a job like I do, He has a passion, which is YouTube, which brings him income, and he gets good views. Boy, how much I would love to have that. I've been on YouTube way longer than he ever was. And I cannot achieve the same thing as he is achieving. So I'm gonna give him that. You know? I'm just being real there. Um, so, but yeah, coming back to the Asperger's thing, you know, another thing it points out to it, he's talking about that he likes to play with kids because he looked at himself like he is a big kid who never grew up. Never grew up. So if he didn't grow up, it means that he has a developmental disability. Narcissism and sociopathy, these are not developmental disability. These are mental problems. You know? Autism is a developmental disability. So the fact that he's 30 years old and he's acting like 12 years old, he has a poor coordination, he's very sensitive to noises, you know. He's kind of nerdy, escaping the world, playing video games, no success at the real life jobs, you know, escapism, poor coordination, being physically weak, you know, having special talents such as making videos, but being childish, having these fears. He's been talking about in one of the videos how he has some kind of childish fears, fear of darkness or something. Fear of dentists, you know. Grown man is afraid to go to the freaking dentist. He cannot go to the dentist without his mom, and he's about to be 30 years old. Again. What kind of grown man is afraid of that? There is no way narcissist or sociopath would be afraid to go to the dentist. I don't think sociopaths are afraid of anything, you know. Sociopath, they can kill anybody and they're not gonna give a shit. Narcissists, they will have a capacity to kill somebody, but they are mostly like emotional manipulators and they like to hurt people emotionally. I don't think Daniel has that. You know, everything pinpoints to fucking autism, you know. Has nothing to do with narcissism, sociopathy, psychopathy. And look at his score. He's even said that I'm not a narcissist. He got a 4 out of 40 on narcissism test. Versus me, I tested myself on the test. I tested myself on Asperger's test. I got 33 out of 50, which is like the results like this. It goes 0 to 25, it means you're not autistic. 26 to 32, borderline autistic personalities. After that, you're probably a little bit autistic. I got 33. So I like probably have mild autism, almost like borderline autistic personality, okay? But then with narcissism test, I was also answering questions honestly. And I got 30 out of 40, okay? On that test, they say that if you got more than 20 out of 40, you need to check yourself for narcissistic personality disorder. Also, I checked myself for sociopathy and psychopathy. On sociopathy, I got that I have latent form of sociopathy, and for psychopathy, I got that I have some psychopathic traits. Now, I watched the video of 20 traits of a psychopath, and I was watching it, and I think I got 8 of it. And they were talking about that even if you got like 1 or 2 out of 20 of psychopathic traits, you need to check yourself. You may be a sociopath or you may be a narcissist, you know. And they were talking about if you got like between 5 and 10, you probably have like mild psychopathic tendencies. And I fall in that range. I got 8. So here we go. Like when it comes to me, I can say that I'm both like, you can talk about having Asperger's comorbid with the narcissism, right? And you can tell that because I'm pretty arrogant person. I always want to be a boss. I always want to be a leader. I have dreams about power. I want to be strong. I'm more active in some ways than like typical autistic people. Like my narcissism actually helps me out. It actually keeps me going. Because me, I always think I need to work, get money. I understand my situation, and that's why I work so much. I'm ready to work as much as possible, even though I'm a lazy person. But I persevere because I just realize that if I don't, then my life gonna turn into shit. Because having autism, it's challenging, and that's why I'm also trying to be like more normal, you know. Even though I'm talking about it, but like in Russia as a kid, I was actually diagnosed with autism, but in America, I decided not to get diagnosis. Some people, when I was in my early 20s, were telling me that I'm acting like somebody with Asperger's, you know. And then I went to this aspiration group with autistic people. I couldn't connect with them because I felt like I'm so much better and more developed than they are. But when I learned about Asperger's syndrome, I definitely have some traits. But see, I don't want to be treated like that because I'm very close to normal. My Asperger's score shows it. I'm literally like almost like at the border of, like, if this is autism and this is the norm. I'm like right here, literally. And somebody who has autistic dad, he's been telling me that, you know what, Emil, you have little autism, but you're so close to the norm that people gonna try, to kind of recover you. They're gonna be treating you like normal, because they're gonna like, because you're close to it. And am close, to that border of like not having autism at all. I'm a little bit autistic, but my autism is very little. That's why like some people who know, they can just tell, but some people who don't know, they may not even think that. And I don't want to be treated that way because like I see how autistic people are treated. They treat like 5-year-olds. And my developmental level is not like that. So that's why I don't want to be treated like that. I definitely have some autistic tendencies, but I'm super high functioning. I can do things, and I know I'm able to work a lot of hours. I am able to work long hours. I can work in the night. I can do anything. Some people at FedEx been worrying about me not being able to lift up ICs because of my bad coordination. I figured it out. I can even do that. So I actually progressed a lot. I'm almost like born not having it. And I'm also kind of fighting my narcissistic tendencies too. Like, because even though I don't have much empathy, but like I realize that it's not necessarily a good thing, and combination of that makes you like somebody who's like unbearable, very difficult. Like if you both like narcissist and have Asperger's, that makes you somebody who only has like one thing going for him. He's very high functioning, he can do things, and he's smart, but everything else is like all fucked up. Like no people skills. It's somebody who has no social skills, but somebody who doesn't give a shit and wants things his way. And when somebody tells him, look, you cannot like lead people because you're not developed, person with autism and Asperger's, instead of thinking, oh, I need to change, gonna think, oh my god, I hate this person, I wanna fucking stab that person and put that person head down the toilet and flash it and make that person eat my shit. So then I'm gonna be really superior, because if the motherfucker's not gonna do what I want, I'm gonna hurt them, and then I'm gonna feel like I accomplished something. This is the thought process of somebody who have both Asperger's and narcissism. But clearly, Daniel, I don't think he thinks like that. He doesn't have the psychopathic tendencies. I think that for him it will be hard to just fucking pull up the trigger and kill someone. Somebody who is narcissism and Asperger's, that person. Yeah. So that's why I can tell that Daniel is definitely he's not a narcissist. He's definitely don't have that at all. But he definitely have Asperger's, like I already told you, all the signs. So, but let me read this comment even further. No one really knows besides people actually close to him, like his wife. Well, if you're a smart person, and if you know what Asperger's is, if you know what narcissism is, if you know sociopathy and psychopathy and things like that, like me, I'm doing my research because I'm interested, right? And then I look at this guy and I see some similarities with him, but also because I know about narcissism, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a smart man. I'm gonna show you that I know things. See, like to me, it's all about thinking about things, concentrating on things, sharing my knowledge with the world, okay? So, the reason why I talk about Daniel, because to me, he's somebody whom I can relate to on one hand, but on the other hand, like, I can show my knowledge with others based on him, and I can prove the point to people. So, if, for example, some people who are writing these ignorant comments on Daniel's videos, they see me and they know somebody who knows himself. Now, I've never been diagnosed with Asperger's or narcissism. When I was in Russia, I never heard the term Asperger's syndrome. Somebody in America told me that, but I never been diagnosed with that. So, officially. And some people suggested me to maybe get diagnosed. I said no, because I don't want to be treated like 5 years old. I can do things, I can function. Why do I need a diagnosis, you know? That's why I would never get a diagnosis, because like some people at FedEx, they look at me like autistic and they want to always help me. Do you need help? Do you need help? I fucking hate it, you know? I don't like to be treated like that. Because think about it, if you have some narcissistic tendencies and people treat you like a kid, it means that, you know, they're pretty much not gonna fire you because you're autistic, but at the same time, they're not gonna take you seriously, you know? Versus if they don't know about your autism, or they close your eyes on it, they're gonna take you more seriously, and that's kind of better, you know? Because what's good at being autist? People treat you like a kid, they don't take you seriously. For somebody who also has narcissistic tendencies like me, that's like slap in the face. It makes me feel like shit. And do you think I like when people are helping me? Hell fucking no. If I would be bigger and strong, I wouldn't accept help from nobody. I'll do it all by my fucking self. The only reason why I accept help from people, because I understand my limitations, and I hate when people are helping me. I would rather screw up, but do it all by myself, and just like get by. And I would rather people treat me like, this Emil, just close your eyes on him, let him do whatever he can, don't tell him nothing, leave him alone. I would rather be treated like that than treated like a fucking 5-year-old, you know? But that's just me. Because to me, I don't like to feel inferior. I would rather people just close their eyes on my shortcomings, than treat me like that. And besides, I've seen how people treat autistic people, even like Eminem. I watched that video and Eminem said that he has Asperger's. And I watched how fucking Stephen Colbert been treating him. And I was getting so mad watching it. And I was thinking, if that would be me, I would go off on that motherfucker. I would tell him that he's discriminating me on my disability. And I said I have money, so I don't give a shit. And I would tell him, you know what? You're being freaking hateful. You're discriminating me because I'm autistic. You treat me like a 5-year-old. I don't like it. That's what I would do. You know? That video made me so fucking angry when I watched it. That's why being autistic, it's not good, because then you may succeed because of your special talent, but like Eminem with rap. But then still, socially, people still put you down, they still bully you, they still treat you like 5-year-old, and then the social anxiety and feeling inferiority because you're autistic, that's kind of sucks. And that's another sign Daniel has social anxiety that pinpoints to autism. I forgot to mention that. And I have that too. But I'm trying to work on myself, trying to be more confident. But see, with me, when I see that I'm like stronger than people, instead of being this shy, anxious person, I'm becoming this tyrant who just like, my way or highway, and I don't give a shit, you know? But then in order for me to act that way, I have to feel like I'm stronger than people. And I have that ability to kind of feel people, you know? Like me, I'm a mastermind, I'm able to feel people. And I know people at FedEx been talking about me, if I'm so smart, why I'm not going for management. Sometimes I'm thinking about going for the management, but I don't want to because of my bad people skills, number one. Number two, I know that I'm gonna be tyrannic, bad manager in some ways because, like, see, being a manager, you have to be people's person. You have to be kind of more soft, more understanding. You need to know how to work with people. But if you're just like very combative, you don't give a shit. You're just like my way or highway, and you get the power, and you started being a fucking asshole, which I'm capable of being that way. I don't know. I want to be a manager because I want power and more money. But at the same time, I realized that in order for me to get there, I have to be more flexible with people, and I have to be more understanding. And then again, my one-track mind, where I have social anxiety and one-track mind, where I'm too focused on one thing, and I'm not able to multitask efficiently. These are the things which may prevent me from being a good manager. And I can be a mastermind, I can be smart, I can know how to deal with people and see what people are capable of, which I have that gift. I'm capable of telling what people can and cannot do. That's why I'm making these videos, because I know what I'm talking about. But I'm a little autistic, my social skills are fucked up. And I can be a fucking tyrant, and I can be pretty despotic, and pretty indifferent to people suffering, and tyrannic, and be kind of my way or highway kind of vessel type of guy. So that's why, to me, I would like to be a manager, but I don't know, because I really don't want to be turning people off. Because I understand that being bad, angry, asshole manager can get me fired, because people will not like me. And why do I want that? If I want to do something, I want to do it well. So, because the point of me is to be successful. I don't want to end up like Todd or Alan. That's why I do what I do. Do you think I want to go off on somebody and go to jail? No. That's why I have to really I'm trying my best to control myself at work, because I really don't want to, get fired because I got into fight with somebody. I don't want to be in that situation. That's why I'm trying to be nice to others, and I'm trying my hardest to work with other people the best I can. And just be calm and, do things. Because I really, I know what kind of person I am, and I know that I don't want to have any kind of problems, and I don't want to cause problems to other people. And I believe in karma, so that's why, like me, no matter who I am, I'm trying, to be decent, to at least act decent. That's how I'm solving my problems right now, which I have. But me knowing about my problems and me seeing these people who have similar problems makes me want to talk about it and share my insights with the world. That's why I'm making these videos, okay? I'm not trying necessarily to help Daniel. Well, let me read this comment even more. Another criticism to you would be the fact that your criticism isn't constructive, it's just blatant criticism for the hell of it. Well, now I'm making this video, so hopefully this video gonna put some more light on the issue, why I think what I think. It's a longer video, so hopefully now I'll explain to you in depth why do I feel the way I feel. So let's go further. If you have any questions, I will try to make it more in depth, when I have time. It's just sometimes I don't have time to really explain everything in depth. And sometimes, I don't like to be talking about myself like that, even though I've been doing it. Because I feel like being not autistic, it's makes you admit that you're inferior to the majority of the society. And autism, this is something, if you want to get rid of it, would be a good thing to get rid of, So, if possible. That's why I don't want to be associated with it. I don't need diagnosis. I don't want diagnosis. I'm trying just to live my life as normal as possible, But that's just me. If you are going to criticize, at least give some value instead of being arrogant to just judging people because you think you know them. Well, I do think I know them because I know autism and I can see the person, I can tell. And yes, I'm an arrogant person, but now this video hopefully gave you better insight, okay? If you want to help him and provide constructive criticism, that's great. Hopefully by the end of this comment realize that I just want you to understand you can really help people for the better with your criticism if you do it the right way with honest intent. Well, hopefully this video is gonna accomplish that type of goal. And my goal was not necessarily to help him, because I don't even think that he needs much help, because look, he has wife, he has a lot of sex, and he made this video 2018 how good that year was for him. He said that, you know what, I have a lot of sex, I make money off of YouTube, my life is great, so here we go. He's happy with what he is, you know. I feel like some people are made to be certain way for a reason. Like me, for example. If I would be just a plain narcissist, I would be an asshole. I would get myself in a lot of trouble. Like I may be able to get some woman pregnant, I make HSTDs because I don't give a shit. But because of I have my autistic tendencies, they kind of preventing me from like getting it to with the wrong person, with somebody who is not for me. The fact that I'm so sensitive, like I cannot get girls but I don't care, and that prevents me from like getting myself with being somebody who is not for me. So pretty much my disabilities, my character kind of saves me from some kind of adversities which I can potentially have. Because look at all of these borderlines, narcissists, sociopaths. Their lives are not that great either. They may have sex with a lot of women, but then they're not able to keep relationships, not able to be happy with relationships. But also look at these autistic people. They're treated like 5-year-olds. And I don't want that either. And that's why it's good to be kind of narcissistic too, because then people treat you like 5-year-old, you go off on them, and they understand, okay, I better off don't fuck with this person. Because if I do, he's probably gonna go off on me, who knows what he can do it. Maybe he can kill me. And I kind of like for people to think that way, because I don't like people fucking with me or messing with me or teasing me. You know? Even though I actually don't want to kill anyone, I prefer not to. I'm not the type of person. I'm actually a nice person inside of my heart. I'm not a mean guy. But when people fucking tease me, I get really mad. I can go off on somebody, I can hurt somebody, and I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not gonna hurt somebody for no reason, but I know I have a potential to do anything to anybody. I just don't wanna do it. Because it's not my goal. I'm mostly about getting what I want, getting money, getting power, and living decent life, like being, you know, like a great man. That's what I really want. You know? So, and also I don't want to be like this guy who just fucks bitches. I want to be, you know, to have a woman who is good for my soul. That's why I feel like it's good for me that in my younger years I was not able to connect with women, because in reality I didn't have no feelings for them anyway. I remember that. I just didn't have no feelings. I just wanted to get more pussy to satisfy my ego. And that's a different thing than wanting women for, you know, for your soul. And I realized that a lot of women who was telling me what to do, how to act, and who was trying to be with me, but I didn't want it and I knew it and I was escaping them, I did it correctly, because all these women and all these people, they were not good for me, they were not good for my soul. And kind of my disabilities, my social anxieties were preventing me from getting into with people who are not good for my soul, you know? And I realize that now, and that's the truth. Okay, hopefully you learned something from me, because if not, then well, Hopefully you don't get too much heat acting this way and you wise up. Well, I think I already wisen up. I'm 32-year-old. And you know what? You didn't even piss me off. Because you're not teasing me, you're not putting me down. You actually said what you think. So, dear the one, you said what you think, and now this video is a response to what I think, okay? That video is for you, so. And that's it, guys. All the best to you guys. Peace out later.